Yes. If you find yourself listening to the smooth, sultry sounds coming through the broadcast at this moment, that means you are in the right place at the right time. It is another Slow It Down Sunday edition with yours truly, Mr. Always Making Plays. And on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Mr. Prescott. We're going to talk about Mr. McCarthy. We're going to talk about this offense. Because y'all know it's the weirdo season, and, you know, our franchise quarterback is coming into the last year of his contract. And so you get two very polarizing sides of the discussion on whether or not to pay the man. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to dissect it. We're going to have a conversation. But y'all go ahead, you sit back, relax, get comfortable, because Mr. Always Making Plays is about to take y'all on a ride. Stay tuned. We rolling.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, DJ, drop that beat for me, dog.
Twizzy is my producer, beats all the time.
Yeah, and they know. Yeah, they say nothing comes from a dreamer. I'm just here to let you know we been hustling 24/7, 365, get that dough. Don't know when I'm gon' stop, cause that paper feels so good. Turning and gripping grain, leather seats with the wood. And she loves to roll with me, she hold it down shotgun. Windows tinted, so you know she blow me shotgun. And I'm riding in the whip to the money. Drop y'all, they come back in for the money. They call me Mr. Certified, come and get that kid right. I'm trying to see the world been I keep. Come take a flight, I can see it now. Twins winning a Grammy, them haters gon' be mad. You know they can't stand me, but it's all cool. I'm just reppin' for my team. Check the stats, pimpin'. We playin' for that rain, no flexing. Sit back, watch me do me. If you ain't heard, they love that twist. And they know, 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 and they know. They love my shit.
They love my shit.
They love my shit.
They love my shit.
And they know, 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 and they know. They love my shit.
They love my shit.
They love my shit.
They love my shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are now tuned into special edition Slow It Down Sunday with yours truly, Mr. Always Making Plays. And we back, baby. So, over the course of this weekend, I've had some time to think. And I've been pondering some things. Truth be told, since Green Bay, I have had a lot of time to think on some things. You know, it's quiet season right now. Not a whole lot is coming out. And what is coming out, though, is some of the most absurd takes, goofy narratives that I have ever heard. Like, I know things are different in Dallas, and you know, I've grown accustomed to, you know, some of the flim flam, if you will. But ladies and gentlemen, it is at an all-time high level. But pardon my manners, forgive me. TC was good, man. C. Burleson, how you doing? How's everybody doing this evening? Pardon my manners. I should have started with that. My grandma would kill me right now if she were here. Speak first. But, so I've been pondering some things and thinking about our shortcomings really and truthfully since 2016. And it made me do some digging, y'all. And the digging that you gotta stay tuned for the final exclamation point on this presentation, because once I started doing some digging, the light bulb went off. Okay? And honestly and truthfully, this discovery will challenge a lot of what y'all have probably been hearing from the 3 and 4 letter networks, truth be told, from some of the content creators. Definitely from some of the goofy segment of our fan base. You know, we all love God's creatures. We love all of his creatures, but some of them I tend to push and keep over to the side, if you will. But I've been hearing some things about Dak and his contract and production and playoff success. I've been hearing it all, y'all. I have been hearing it all. And it's quite sickening. It's quite sickening. Some of the things that they are asking and requesting of him. And then when people make comparisons about why he isn't good, do y'all know who they compare him to? Do y'all know who they compare him to? They compare him to the likes of Mahomes. They compare him to Allen. They compare him to Herbert. They compare him to that boy in Cincinnati. They used to compare him to Brady. They're not comparing him to no trash. Because whenever you do a comparison, you know, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. But you compare him to individuals who are of the upper echelon. Now, there are individuals who will tell you that the Dallas Cowboys need to trade Dak Prescott, right? Now, we all know that he has a no trade clause. He can't be franchise tagged again. But when you ask them, okay, so you want to trade Dak Prescott, right? Guess what the compensation is, y'all? They tell you, oh, we need 2 firsts, we need 2 seconds, and maybe a 5th. I mean, they throw the entire kit caboodle at you. So you're telling me that Dak is trash and we need to move on from him. And if you feel like we need to move on from him, I'm not here to argue with you about that. That's your feelings. That's your analysis. That's your take. But then when you ask for compensation, my dog A was good, man. Good to see you. Good to see you tonight. So when it's time for compensation, you want a whole lot in return. Which screams to me that he is of high value. There are a lot of teams who, given the opportunity, would take Dak in a heartbeat over what they currently have. So, prime example. To all my men in the chat. You've had your eye on a particular young lady for some time, right? You've been wanting to get with her, but she's in another situation with another individual. And every opportunity you get, every time you see her, hey, you know I could treat you better than Bobby can. Bobby don't treat you like you should be treated. He don't take you out. He keep you locked up in the house. You know, he don't stuff them pockets. He got you riding around in a busted hoopie, not me. If I had the opportunity, baby, ooh, I do you so right. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there are other teams right now who, given the opportunity, now I know tampering is a thing, but given an opportunity, when y'all look at the end of games and people are shaking hands and tapping backs and swapping jerseys. Yeah, I said swapping jerseys. But you see coaches go with the players and stuff, and you know, if owners or management is down on the field, they speak to individuals too. And you see them, when they whisper, you see them cover up that mouth while they're talking to said player. Hey, look, if the opportunity presents itself, you know we interested, right? So just make sure you pass that along to your agent. That is a real thing in this league, y'all. So for all those who say Dak is not that guy, that's not the conversation tonight. But just understand that there is somebody out there willing and able to pay him every single penny he is worth, plus some. And guess what? They will construct a roster. They will draft up an offense that suits his strong points, that will maximize him to be the best version of himself that he can be. I'm telling y'all, this ain't what I think. I have a very strong conviction about this because guess what? I've witnessed it on this team, y'all. As great of an individual and player that Tony Romo was, once Dak got in the driver's seat, he never gave the keys back, yo. And you're talking about an individual who has balled under less than perfect circumstances, dealing with meddling management, dealing with incompetent offensive coordinators, dealing with propaganda, all sorts of things he has had to deal with and endure in his tenure here. Not to mention in the very first portion of his career after he was big time. What is good, man? Good to see you. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause right here, but we got the big time show in the chat. If y'all have not done so, if you're in the chat, click his name, go to his channel, subscribe if you haven't done so. Show that brother some love. He is truly one of the great content creators out here pumping out that Dallas Cowboys funk. But yes, Dak has endured so much betting on himself. You know, management coming out and saying that, you know, they aren't quite sold and sure about if he can be the quarterback of the future at that time. This man, since he has been our starting quarterback, ladies and gentlemen, has not had, I repeat, has not had a single solitary losing season. He has kept Jerry and Stephen Jones and this organization relevant since 2016. And guess what? Every time y'all throw an obstacle in his way, he sidesteps it. He hops over it. He hurdles it. He spins off of it. That is what he has done, y'all. You talking about somebody whose mother passed from a tragic situation. He lost his brother from a tragic situation. And we have seen him do what your job tells you to do. Hey, leave home at home. While you at work, we need you to work. He has done that, y'all. I'm not riding his jock right now, but just appreciate the individual for the effort that he gives. Yeah, I know there's some things that could be improved in his game. Yeah, I know in the playoffs we could, you know, have some moments back. But when you look at his entire body of work, he is one of the hardest workers, one of the most committed individuals, one of the most loving individuals. But one of the things that I really love about Dak that you won't see on the stat sheet is his pure grit. He has a I don't give up, you know what attitude. It's a him against the world type deal. And sometimes I believe he takes that avenue too far to a fault. Almost doing too much, trying to do too much at times. Because as I told y'all stay tuned. At the very end, I'm going to show you just how much this man is doing compared to the other individuals who play his same position in the National Football League and what is asked of them. Because it's only right. It's only right. Now, I've heard some people talk about, we switching gears here for a second. I've heard some people talk about, you know, he's a dink and dunk quarterback and XYZ. They said that in the beginning. Some people are still saying that. Some people still ain't letting that narrative go. And they're saying he's no Mahomes, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You know, even after last season, they're saying he was not MVP worthy, right? He should have won the darn thing, truth be told. But hey, I'm out of my feelings. I'm level-headed. We're going to have a great conversation about this tonight. Now, in my research, y'all, I discovered something. And some of y'all may have known it. I had an idea roundabout, but I wasn't completely sure. But in the history of the National Football League, because some people say, oh, his yards, they're garbage yards, and, you know, he gets them after they're already down. He's had a couple of 4,000-yard seasons, right? And people still want more. They still want more, y'all. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Can you believe that after all this individual has done for this franchise, for this offense, for his coordinators, there are individuals who still want more from him? I'm even hearing lofty numbers like 5,000 yards. Now, in the history of the NFL, there have only been 9 individuals who have reached that feat. Out of the thousands of individuals who have called themselves or who have been named quarterbacks in the National Football League, out of the thousands of those individuals, only 9 individuals have attained that feat. The very first instance happened just a wee bit before I was born. And that was done by the great Dan Marino. He did it in 1986. First time in NFL history. Excuse me, I'm sorry, that was in 84. And he threw for 48 passing touchdowns in that season, y'all. Almost unheard of, right? That feat did not happen again. It happened in 84. That feat did not happen again, y'all, until 2008. Another great quarterback, Mr. Drew Brees. Now, guess what? He topped the league in passing touchdowns that season. But even and by the way, in 84, Marino did get the Dolphins to the Super Bowl, but they lost. Brees threw for 5,069 yards in 2008. The Saints finished 8-8 and didn't make the playoffs. Three years later, Mr. Brady accomplished that same feat. And guess what? That year, the Patriots were defeated by the Giants in the Super Bowl. So the first 3 occasions it happened where a quarterback surpassed that great feat. The teams did not win it all. Stafford did it also again in 2011. They made the playoffs. They got booted early too. And then you have the great Peyton Manning. Now, as much as we praise that big-headed dude, he got his team an AFC West title. They went 13-3. Made it all the way to the Super Bowl and got mollywopped by the Seahawks 43-8. Big Ben, he did it too. He threw for 5,129 yards. And guess what? The Steelers missed the playoffs, y'all. Justin Herbert did it too. In 2021, he just squeaked over. He had 5,014 yards. And guess what? They went 9-8, y'all. Ain't went nowhere. Now, the last individual on this list, y'all know who I'm talking about, Mr. Mahomes. Now, he has done this twice. He did it once in 2018, and he did it again in 2022. And guess what? He had an MVP season that year. But he was the first and only individual to throw for over 5,000 yards and win a Super Bowl. Out of the 9 individuals who have accomplished that feat, only one of them have won a Super Bowl the same year they accomplished that feat. So for individuals talking about wanting the passing game to be more, wanting more receivers, wanting us to be more dynamic, wanting us to be more flashy, it don't pay off, y'all. It don't pay off. It does not amount to what it is that ultimately you want, I want, what the coaching staff wants, what the players want, and what I think management wants. It is not a guarantee. Oh, man. Good to see Ty in the building. Who else we got down here? Oh, appreciate it big time, man. Look, you know, hey, I'll be upbeat and bopping all during the week, but on Sundays, we gotta slow it down. And we're not just slowing down the tempo, but we're also slowing down our minds long enough to think and process what it is that we have been receiving, good or bad, beautiful, ugly, or indifferent. However, we slow it down to process. Look, something personally, once I get off and the kids are bed or whatever and it's quiet like it is right now, Amp is in one of two places. He in either club front porch or club back patio. It's during those moments that I sit down and I'm able to think and I'm able to process. I'm able to plan. I'm able to dissect. And it was during one of those moments that this hit me. You know, there are some individuals who, you know, spew out ridiculous, I mean absolutely ridiculous feats, if you will, for Dak to accomplish. And that's how they measure whether or not he is worthy of being our franchise quarterback. It don't add up, y'all. It don't add up. And this whole contract negotiation situation and he don't deserve and he's not one of the top quarterbacks. Y'all done seen how the leaves have been falling, in the words of Stephen Jones. The leaves have fallen, and even individuals who I would not put over Dak as far as what they bring to their organization, they making top dollar, y'all. I mean, let's keep it funky. Let's keep it funky. Do y'all really think Kirk Cousins is worth what he got? I mean, that brother there, he knows how to cash a check. He's got his account number memorized. He keeps his license on the visor. The tellers know him on a first name basis. And what has he done? In the words of the late great Heavy D, diddly 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 D. He ain't done jack. But he continues to get paid. He knows how to time that thing, line that thing up to where, hey, he stays employed. Y'all talk about people who sit around the house and scratch their behind all day. That man stay working. And he ain't making no chump change either. Now, I told y'all I had an epiphany that hit me about the Cowboys and this offense, right? It's another side to it. Because the defense has weight as well. That's going to be on another show later on this week. So y'all come on back. We're going to talk about the other side of the game. Call me Lauren Hill right now. But we're going to talk about the other side of the game. But tonight, at this moment, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and how we are constructed offensively, you know, I had the privilege to join on with Boss Cowboy and the rest of the content creators when we were covering the draft. We had a vision for the type of players that we wanted on this team, right? We had a vision. We knew, we had done our research. We knew what individuals could possibly bring to this organization because we're still hurt. The wound has not officially healed yet. Great point, Keystone. What has Tua done? Boys out there getting the bag and ain't done diddly. Diddly. And y'all want to hold Dak to the fire for something that is the responsibility of the entire organization. But you want to put it on the back of one individual. Now, we all know we got the good news a couple months back that Dak is officially a dad now. He's getting older. I think when camp hits, he might be pushing 30. If not, if he's not already 30. But he's becoming an older man. He's maturing, right? But I'm going to tell y'all, some of y'all Cowboys fans, what we got to do. He ain't old man Dak yet, but, years ago when I worked in retail and I was doing stock, an old cat who was working on the stock crew said, hey, man, you better lift properly and use them knees right. Take it easy on your back because you're going to need that later on in life. Young me, I don't care. I'm lifting all incorrect. Just, I was a machine. And guess what? As you get older, you start feeling it. I said all that to say, Dak is getting older. We continue to want to put more and more pressure on him year after year after year after year. But I'm here to tell you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a winning formula. We have to take it easy on Dak's back. If you took your grandmother to the grocery store and y'all pulled back up to the crib, would you expect her to carry the bags? If you took your grandpa to Home Depot and y'all were doing one of these home improvement projects, would you expect him? Would you expect them to carry all the lumber into the yard? Nah, because he's older. Take it easy on his back. But because he has been paid, because he got his second contract, because he is the quarterback of America's team, we are expecting Dak Prescott to be some sort of Messiah. Like we really want him to save us from all of the flaws and all of the blemishes and all of our secrets that management has, all of the shortcomings that the coaching staff may have, all of the scheming issues that we have dealt with. And we want Dak Prescott to pick up his cross and carry it and stay there and die while we whip and beat him so that he can save us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell y'all tonight, if you are looking for Dak Prescott to save the Dallas Cowboys, you are in for a rude awakening. That's not his job. That's not his job. See, winning a championship is a collective. We just saw Boston win the championship. That was a collective. That was the work and strategy and planning and acquisition of management. That was the coaching staff having the mind and the mentality to get the players to levels that they needed to be at. See, we draft players in Dallas and they come in and day one, we want them to be ready. Y'all already got Tyler Guyton on the starting five. He ain't played the first snap in the preseason game yet. See, players are like, shout out to my boy Keystone right now. You're going to feel where I'm coming from. I'm a chef by trade, right? And so you got two types of individuals. You got individuals who love to cook their own meals, and you got individuals who are a little bit too busy or uninterested in standing in the kitchen and cooking and whipping up a meal. So now, because of certain individuals' laziness, right, you have companies that have started who are making hand over fist by doing the prep work for y'all. HelloFresh, whatever they called. It comes to your door in a box. They've got the seasonings already portioned out for you. They got the protein. They got the sides. They got all of that. And all you simply have to do is warm it up. You got individuals now who will, you pay them X amount of dollars, they will give you all of your meals for the week. And all you got to do is boop, 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 boop. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Boom. And it's done. Hot, fresh meal on the table. That ain't no different than McDonald's or Burger King or Popeyes. It's fast food also. But y'all expect these players that we acquire to be ready-made. There's a reason we have a coaching staff. There is a reason we have training facilities. Exactly. No hot pockets here. You don't just pop it in and whoop, that's it. The beauty and the art of cooking is going through the entire process. I went to the grocery store the day after church and I had my little girl with me. In the grocery store, they know how to do it. They have this thing marketed down to the T. They have miniature grocery carts that the children can use to go around the grocery store. And my daughter went and asked the cashier behind the counter, could she get her, because they don't have them out, asked her, could she get this cart? And immediately, I didn't give my daughter any instructions, y'all. Her mother knew this. I didn't. Usually, I go to the grocery store by myself in peace and quiet. But I said, nah, we're going to make it a family affair today. Without being told, my daughter instantly started grabbing groceries off the shelf and putting them in the cart. Oh, we need this. Oh, we need that. Oh, we need this. And she said we, but really it was the items that she wanted. But the beautiful part that I love about cooking, especially like when I do a catering event, you know, I game plan, I come up with the menu, right? And y'all bear with me. I gotta let this unfold. I come up with a meal plan, a menu. I go out and I shop. I bring it back. I unpack. I put up. And then in Keystone, you know something about this. It's called mise en place. Basically, that's the process for how you're going to prep everything all the way to hitting the plate. Right? We want to skip processes. We bashing Mozzie Smith. Why? Because he's a raw piece of meat? Let him marinate a little bit. And marinate is not just pour some sauce over it and then you start cooking it. You pour it, you cover it, you put it in the refrigerator to allow osmosis to take place. You allow those juices that are around the meat to seep into the pores. Mozzie Smith ain't even been here long enough to allow the culture of the Dallas Cowboys defensive line to seep into his system. Great point, Keystone. You said the word. You said processed. Y'all know all that processed food ain't good for you, but you want processed players. We got to let the marinade get into it. Sometimes you marinate something for overnight. Let it sit. Let it seep in. Squeeze a little lime juice in that thing. Let that acidity start to break those proteins down so it can be nice and tender how y'all like it. Come on, I know I'm preaching right now. But that's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you will want for these players you acquire, because guess what? One of the worst things you can do, and I have seen it, you see people rip open a package of meat, they don't wash it or nothing, and they throw it in the pan and it tastes like crap. Because you put no love into it. That's what the term soul food comes from. Because you put love into the meal. And what I want to start seeing from this organization is us putting love into the players that we have acquired. And what I don't need is fans who ain't doing a doggone thing. That's one thing that you want to piss Amp off while I'm cooking, because I host events all the time at my house or family, etc., whatever. You know, it's always that one person who comes over. You ain't came to fellowship. You got your takeout plates in the car. You ain't even bought the paper products or a drink, but you brought something that you could take something with. You ain't bringing nothing to the pot. And what they ask you, they ask that same stupid question every single time. What time we gonna eat? What time dinner gonna be ready? Excuse me? And guess what, y'all? I ain't got no chill. I have no filter. My most honest and real response every time somebody asks me, what time the food gonna be ready? When I'm done cooking it. We gotta let these players cook. All of these new guys that we have acquired. Yeah, okay, we got them. They at the house now. We gotta let them marinate a little bit. Now look, it varies from player to player, okay? It varies from player to player. Just like it varies from protein to protein or vegetable to vegetable. Some things require a longer time marinating. You know, it's not going to take a drumstick the same amount of time to marinate that it will a pork butt. Two different situations, just like DT. Y'all know the work has been done. 3 years. 3 years before that meat is even ready to hit the skillet. So let's not rush our players. Let's not damage our players. And let's not just throw together a meal for the sake of throwing together a meal. Now, y'all have stayed around this far. I appreciate y'all. Do your boy a solid. Please hit the like button. Share this content with whomever you choose. Cowboy fan or not. Family or not. Friend or not. Send it to the ops. I don't care. Do your boy a solid. Now. Oh, Eastside Harold came in right on time too. Because I got something for you, sir. Just sit tight. Don't troll and dip. I want you to stay around this one. See, look, Cowboys Nation, I told y'all I'm a chef by trade. I am getting ready to prepare a meal before you in the presence of your enemy, okay? So y'all just sit tight. Now, I got to grab my notebook for this one because I took some extensive notes. Extensive notes. Highlighted and everything. Now, obviously things did not go the way that we would have liked for them to. In the debacle against Green Bay. Right. You know, we were a lot of us were gassed up. We were looking past them. You know, it was like on to the next. And they came in and they stomped a hole in our butts at that very stadium right behind me on the screen. At the crib. That's what made it the worst. It was at the crib. But guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, they had a game plan. They had a game plan and they executed to the absolute T. Now, when you look at the stats, and I'm not a super stat nerd, but I'm telling y'all, this thing jumped out at me. When you look at our stats, you say Dak was 41 of 60. He threw for 387. We had 123 yards on the ground. We were 4 or 5 in the red zone. We had the ball for 31 minutes plus. You'll say that was a pretty decent game, right? Not knowing the other side. But then when you look at one of the major stats, we gave them 2 extra opportunities. We had 2 turnovers. You're going to say, oh, that was Dak's fault. It was Dak's fault. Yeah. I'm not going through that with y'all. I'm not pulling out no film, but I'm only going to say that one of those was his fault. Now, we do know they jumped out to a tremendous lead very early. But on our team, there are actually 3 categories. There's offense, there's defense, and there's special teams. And each one of those 3 has a job to do. Like I said, we're going to talk about the other side of the game, the defensive side, later on this week. So y'all come on back. But then when you look at Green Bay's stats, 16 of 21 through the air for 272 yards. You'll say not bad. They rushed the ball 33 times for 143 yards. Red zone efficiency, 4 for 4. Like Wendy's, they were 4 for 4. 0 turnovers, and they had the ball about 28 minutes and some change. Now, I brought that up to say that as much as people emphasize and harp on the fact that, you know, yes, we have CeeDee Lamb. Yes, we have Brandon Cooks. Yes, Tolbert is coming along, but we like some of these other guys. There are individuals who will make the argument that we should have acquired more receivers. And I'm like, I'm tripping because, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one ball. and only one person can hold that ball at a time. You can only target one individual at a time. CeeDee Lamb had a tremendous year last year, and I can understand maybe you might have wanted to acquire a couple of more receivers just for the depth piece because you're unsure about the latter half of that room. Totally understandable. But for the sake of trying to out offense the offense you had last year in the passing game, I don't really see it. And honestly and truthfully, it probably would have been more had this may have been Mike McCarthy's second year under the helm, being your OC. But you saw an offense that was kind of feeling their way through things the first couple of games. And as they begin to come into their own, you saw our offense take on more of a shape, more of an identity, if you will. But I brought up that stat because when I looked, y'all, here it is. Here's the moment. When you look at the playoffs as a whole, from wild card weekend up to the Super Bowl, there are 13 games that are played. 13. Y'all keep that number in your head. Now, out of those 13 games, right? Before I talk about those 13 games, there are individuals, and you hear it a lot. They say, "Oh, the NFL, it's a passing league now. It's the quarterback's league." You know, you hear that. People will tell you got to air it out. But one thing that we know about the playoffs